Unit 22. 1051 Anecdote. 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 A short amusing story. Story tale. 1052 Aspirant. 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 A person who seeks a position. Candidate. Applicant. 1053 Assertion. 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 A confident statement. Claim. Declaration. Denial. Question. 1054 Barrage. 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 A concentrated outpouring. Bombardment. Flood. Trickle. 1055 Cavalcade. 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 A procession of people or vehicles. Parade. Procession. 1056 Culvert. 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 A tunnel for water flow under a road. Drain channel. 1057 Enigma. 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 Something mysterious or puzzling. Mystery. Puzzle. Clarity. Explanation. 1058 Franchise. 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 The right to vote or sell a company's products. License right. Restriction. Ban. 1059 Gentility. 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 Social superiority by manners or behavior. Elegance. Refinement. Rudeness. Vulgarity. 1060 Kaleidoscope. 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 A constantly changing pattern. Medley. Pattern. Monotony. 1061 Lechery. 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 Excessive or offensive sexual desire. Lust. Debauchery. Chastity. Purity. 1062 Lexicographer. 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 A person who compiles dictionaries. Dictionary writer. 1063 Marquee. 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 A large tent or canopy. Pavilion. Awning. 1064 Metamorphosis. 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 A transformation. Change. Transformation. Stagnation. 1065 Miscellany. 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 A mixture or collection. Variety. Assortment. Uniformity. Similarity. 1066 Opus. 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 A work of music or art. Composition work. 1067 Paranoia. 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 Irrational distrust of others. Suspicion. Delusion. Trust. Confidence. 1068 Rebellion. 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 Resistance against authority. Uprising. Revolt. Submission. Obedience. 1069 Theory. 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 A system of ideas to explain something. Hypothesis. Concept. Fact. Proof. 1070 Voyeur. 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 A person who gains pleasure from watching others. Spectator. Peeper. 1071 Wrath. 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 Intense anger. Rage. Fury. Calm. Peace. 1072 Abandon. 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 To leave behind or give up. Desert. Forsake. Keep. Retain. 1073 Bludgeon. 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 To strike with heavy impact. Bash. Pummel. Caress. 1074 Borrow. 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 To take and use temporarily. Loan. Obtain. Lend. Return. 1075 Comprise. 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 To consist of or be made up of. Include. Contain. Exclude. Lack. 1076 Despoil. 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 To steal or violently remove possessions. Plunder. Pillage. Protect. Preserve. 1077 Embroil. 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 To involve in conflict. Entangle. Ensnare. Free release. 1078 Expunge. 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 To erase or remove completely. Delete. Erase. Retain. Preserve. 1079 Extol. 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 To praise enthusiastically. Praise, laud. Criticize, condemn. 1080 intimate. 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 To suggest indirectly. Hint, imply. Declare, state. 1081 overshadow. 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 To tower over or dominate. Eclipse, dominate. Highlight, illuminate. 1082 prattle. 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 To talk in a foolish way. Babble, chatter. Be silent, articulate. 1083 sap. 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 To weaken or drain. Deplete, exhaust. Strengthen, invigorate. 1084 cavalier. 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 Showing a lack of concern. Dismissive, offhand. Concerned, attentive. 1085 conciliatory. 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 Intended to pacify. Soothing, appeasing. Antagonistic, provoking. 1086 draconian. 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 Excessively harsh. Severe, harsh. Lenient, mild. 1087 giddy. 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 Dizzy or frivolous. Dizzy, flighty. Serious, grounded. 1088 haggard. 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 Looking tired and worn. Gaunt, exhausted. Healthy, fresh. 1089 indecipherable. 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 Impossible to read or understand. Unreadable. Incomprehensible. Clear, legible. 1090 irrefutable. 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 Impossible to disprove. Undeniable, conclusive. Disputable, doubtful. 1091 listless. 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 Lacking energy or enthusiasm. Lethargic, sluggish. Energetic, lively. 1092 mammoth. 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 Enormously large. Gigantic, colossal. Tiny, small. 1093 riveting. 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 Captivating or engrossing. Engaging, compelling. Boring, dull. 1094 sartorial. 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 Relating to tailoring or clothes. Fashionable, stylistic. Sloppy, unfashionable. 1095 sedentary. 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 Involving little activity. Inactive, stationary. Active, energetic. 1096 slothful. 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 Lazy or inactive. Lazy, idle. Industrious, energetic. 1097 spasmodic. 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 Occurring irregularly. Intermittent, erratic. Steady, continuous. 1098 translucent. 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 Allowing light but not detail. Semi-transparent. Opaque. 1099 ulterior. An ulterior. An ulterior. Existing beyond what is seen. Hidden, concealed. Overt, obvious. 1100 underlying. 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 Fundamental or basic. Fundamental, basic. Superficial. Unit 23. 1101 apathy. 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 Lack of interest or enthusiasm. Indifference, lethargy. Concern, passion. 1102. Assent. 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 The expression of approval. Agreement, approval. Disagreement, refusal. 1103 bane. 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 A cause of distress or ruin. Curse, blight. Blessing, benefit. 1104 clamor. 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 A loud and confused noise. Uproar, outcry. Silence. 1105 devotee. 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 A devoted follower. Enthusiast, fan. Opponent. 1106 dissertation. 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 A long written essay on a subject. Thesis, treatise. Summary. 1107 distinction. 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 Difference or honor. contrast, excellence, similarity, mediocrity. 1108, emendation, 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 a correction in a text, revision, correction, error. 1109, fluke, 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 a lucky or chance occurrence, stroke of luck, accident, certainty, intention. 1110, humility, 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 modest view of one's importance, modesty, meekness, pride, arrogance. 1111, impunity, 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 freedom from punishment, immunity, exemption, accountability. 1112, insomnia, 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 inability to sleep, sleeplessness, restlessness, restfulness. 1113, intelligentsia, 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 the intellectual elite, scholars, thinkers. 1114, jurisprudence, 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 science or philosophy of law, legal theory, law. 1115, limerick, 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 a humorous 5-line poem, poem, verse. 1116, malapropism, 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 a humorous misuse of words, verbal slip, correct usage. 1117, misgivings, 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 feelings of doubt or apprehension, doubt, unease, confidence. 1118, optimist, 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 one who expects the best, positive thinker, idealist, pessimist, pastiche, 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 an imitation of various styles, imitation, parody, original. 1120, proponent, 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 a supporter of something, advocate, supporter, opponent, critic. 1121, recrimination, 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 mutual accusations, accusation, retaliation, forgiveness. 1122, rectitude, 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 moral uprightness, integrity, honesty, corruption, dishonesty. 1123, stupor, 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 a dazed condition, daze, trance, alertness. 1124, whelp, 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 a young offspring of a mammal, pup, cub, adult. 1125, befuddle, 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 to confuse, confuse, bewilder, clarify, explain. 1126, begrudge, 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 to resent someone's success, envy, resent, give, allow. 1127, blare, 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 to make a loud harsh noise, blast, roar, whisper, murmur. 1128, burnish, 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 to polish by rubbing, polish, shine, dull, tarnish. 1129, careen, 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 to swerve while moving, lurch, veer, steady, straighten. 1130, deploy, 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 to position or use, utilize, station, withdraw, withhold. 1131, fetter, 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 to restrain or chain, shackle, bind, free, liberate. 1132, germinate, 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 to begin to grow, sprout, grow, wither, die. 1133, ignite, 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 to set on fire, spark, light, extinguish. 1134, peruse, 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 to read carefully, examine, inspect, skim, overlook. 1135, recapitulate, 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 to summarize briefly, summarize, review, expand, elaborate. 1136, recast, 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 to reconstruct or reshape, restructure, modify, preserve, keep. 1137 relinquish, relinquish, relinquish. To give up, surrender, renounce. Keep, retain. 1138 resurge, resurge, resurge. To rise again, rebound, revive. Decline, fade. 1139 sustain, sustain, sustain. To support or maintain, uphold, maintain. Discontinue, weaken. 1140 aquiline, aquiline, aquiline. Curved like an eagle's beak, hooked, straight. 1141 avuncular, avuncular, avuncular. Like an uncle, kind and friendly, helpful, benevolent, unkind, distant. 1142 brazen, brazen, brazen. Bold and without shame, shameless, impudent, modest, shy. 1143 earnest, earnest, earnest. Serious in intention, serious, sincere, frivolous. 1144 eminent, eminent, eminent. Famous and respected, renowned, distinguished, unknown, obscure. 1145 incendiary, incendiary, incendiary. Designed to cause fires or conflict. Inflammatory, provocative, calming, soothing. 1146 inconspicuous, inconspicuous, inconspicuous. Not easily noticeable, unobtrusive, hidden, noticeable. 1147 pecuniary, pecuniary, pecuniary. Relating to money, monetary, financial, non-financial. 1148 pert, pert, pert. Bold and lively, sassy, lively, shy, dull. 1149 retrospective, retrospective, retrospective. Looking back on the past, reflective, backward looking, perspective. 1150 unpalatable, unpalatable, unpalatable. Unpleasant to taste or accept, distasteful, offensive, pleasant, agreeable. Unit 24 1151 agenda, agenda, agenda. A list or plan of items to be discussed. Schedule, plan. Improvisation. 1152 apotheosis, apotheosis, apotheosis. The highest point of development. Peak, pinnacle. Nadir, base. 1153 cataract, cataract, cataract. A large waterfall or medical eye condition. Waterfall, opacity, clearness. 1154 coincidence, coincidence, coincidence. A remarkable concurrence of events. Chance, accident. Plan, intention. 1155 impediment, impediment, impediment. An obstacle or barrier. Obstruction, hindrance. Aid, assistance. 1156 investigation, investigation, investigation. A detailed inquiry or study. Examination, inquiry. Neglect. 1157 juncture, juncture, juncture. A point of time or place. Especially critical. Crossroads, moment. Separation, disconnection. 1158 mischance, mischance, mischance. Bad luck or an unlucky event. Misfortune, accident. Fortune, luck. 1159 ordeal, ordeal, ordeal. A painful or difficult experience. Trial, tribulation. Comfort, ease. 1160 plaudit, plaudit, plaudit. Enthusiastic approval or praise. Applause, acclaim. Criticism, disapproval. 1161 propriety, propriety, propriety. Correctness of behavior. Decency, decorum. Impropriety, indecency. 1162 suture, suture, suture. A stitch or row of stitches holding together. Stitch, seam. Tear, gap. 1163 vigor, vigor, vigor. physical strength and energy, energy, vitality, lethargy, weakness. 1164. Complement, 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 to complete or enhance, supplement, complete, oppose, contrast. 1165. Defuse, 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 to reduce danger or tension, calm, deactivate, agitate, provoke. 1166. Enumerate, 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 to mention one by one, list, itemize, generalize. 1167. Incubate, 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 to maintain under conditions favorable for development, nurture, develop, neglect, halt. 1168. Intersect, 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 to cross or meet at a point, cross, bisect, diverge, separate. 1169. Intervene, 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 to come between, to alter a result, intercede, mediate, ignore, overlook. 1170. Intrude, 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 to enter without permission, encroach, trespass, withdraw, respect. 1171. Jostle, 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 to push or shove roughly, bump, shove, avoid, sidestep. 1172. Kindle, 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 to start a fire or ignite emotion, ignite, arouse, extinguish, suppress. 1173. Mediate, 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 to intervene, to settle a dispute, arbitrate, negotiate, agitate, disrupt. 1174. Misrepresent, 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 to give a false account, distort, falsify, represent, portray. 1175. Pillage, 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 to rob using violence, especially in war, loot, plunder, protect, guard. 1176. Quibble, 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 to argue about trivial matters, nitpick, cavil, agree, accept. 1177. Waylay, 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 to ambush or stop unexpectedly, ambush, accost, avoid, overlook. 1178. Antagonistic, 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 showing opposition or hostility, hostile, opposed, friendly, supportive. 1179. Anthropocentric, 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 regarding humans as the central element, human-centered, ecocentric. 1180. Buxom, 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 plump and attractive, voluptuous, curvy, slender, flat. 1181. Cloying, 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 excessively sweet or sentimental, saccharine, nauseating, bland, pleasing. 1182. Dutiful, 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 conscientiously obedient or respectful, obedient, respectful, defiant, disrespectful. 1183. Equestrian, 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 related to horse riding, horseback, riding. 1184. Exemplary, 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 serving as a desirable model, model, commendable, unworthy, dishonorable. 1185. Expensive, 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 costing a lot of money, costly, pricey, cheap, inexpensive. 1186. Forlorn, 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 pitifully sad and abandoned, desolate, hopeless, cheerful, hopeful. 1187. Grudging, 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 reluctant or unwilling, reluctant, unwilling, willing, eager. 1188. Impregnable, 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 unable to be captured or broken into, invincible, secure, vulnerable, weak. 1189. Inalienable, 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 unable to be taken away, absolute, non-transferable, alienable. 1190. Jovial, 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 cheerful and friendly, jolly merry, gloomy moody. 1191 Maudlin, 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 self-pityingly or tearfully sentimental, weepy, sentimental, unemotional, cold. 1192 Ornamental, 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 serving as decoration, decorative, adorned, plain, functional. 1193 Penitent, 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 feeling or showing sorrow for wrongdoing, remorseful, repentant, unrepentant, shameless. 1194 Potent, 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 having great power or influence, powerful, strong, weak, powerless. 1195 Sphinx-like, 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 mysterious and quiet, enigmatic, inscrutable, transparent, obvious. 1196 Tactile, 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 related to the sense of touch, touchable, tangible, intangible. 1197 Titanic, 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 of exceptional strength or size, gigantic, colossal, tiny, weak. 1198 Torrid, 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 very hot or passionate, scorching, passionate, cold, dispassionate. 1199 Verbose, 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 using more words than needed, wordy, talkative, concise, succinct. 1200 Virtual, 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 almost or nearly as described, almost near, actual, real. Unit 25 1201 Affliction, 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 a cause of pain or suffering, illness, hardship, comfort, relief. 1202 Allegiance, 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 loyalty or commitment to a group or cause, loyalty, devotion, disloyalty, treason. 1203 Chaff, 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 worthless things, husk separated from grain, waste, debris, grain, substance. 1204 Denouement, 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 the final part of a story, where matters are resolved, conclusion, resolution, beginning, prologue. 1205 Dissident, 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 a person who opposes official policy, rebel, protester, supporter, conformist. 1206 Espionage, 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 the practice of spying, spying, surveillance, openness. 1207 Malcontent, 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 a person dissatisfied with existing conditions, complainer, rebel, satisfied person. 1208 Minutiae, 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 small or trivial details, trivia, particulars, generalities. 1209 Placebo, 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 a substance with no therapeutic effect, dummy, inactive drug, medicine, remedy. 1210 Pseudonym, 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 a fictitious name, alias, pen name, real name. 1211 Rift, 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 a serious break in harmony, split, breach, unity, agreement. 1212 Ruffian, 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 a violent or lawless person, thug, hooligan, gentleman, pacifist. 1213 Swindler, 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 a person who cheats others out of money or assets, fraudster, con artist, honest person. 1214 Tremor, 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 a slight shaking movement, shake, quiver, stillness, stability. 1215 Tumult, 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 a loud, confused noise caused by a mass of people, uproar, commotion, peace, calm. 1216 Verbiage, 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 speech or writing that uses too many words, wordiness, verbosity, conciseness, brevity. 1217 Bungle, 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 to carry out a task clumsily or incompetently, botch, mishandle, manage, succeed. 1218 caulk, 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 to seal a gap or seam with a waterproof material, seal, fill, crack, open. 1219 disfigure, 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 to spoil the appearance of something, mar, deform, beautify, restore. 1220 enunciate, 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 to pronounce words clearly, articulate, pronounce, mumble, slur. 1221 incarcerate, 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 to imprison, jail, confine, release, free. 1222 scrutinize, 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 to examine closely, inspect, analyze, neglect, glance. 1223 usurp, 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 to take power illegally or by force, seize, appropriate, relinquish, surrender. 1224 adamant, 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 refusing to be persuaded, unyielding, firm, flexible, soft. 1225 amusing, 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 entertaining or funny, funny, entertaining, boring, dull. 1226 benign, 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 gentle and kindly, kind, harmless, malignant, harsh. 1227 boisterous, 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 noisy, energetic and cheerful, rowdy, lively, quiet, subdued. 1228 committed, 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 dedicated or loyal, devoted, dedicated, indifferent, apathetic. 1229 consistent, 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 acting or done in the same way over time, steady, uniform, inconsistent, erratic. 1230 convex, 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 having a curved surface, curved, bulging, concave. 1231 fervent, 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 having or displaying passionate intensity, enthusiastic, ardent, apathetic, indifferent. 1232 fervid, 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 intensely passionate, enthusiastic, zealous, indifferent, cool. 1233 fundamental, 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 forming a necessary base, basic, essential, trivial, secondary. 1234 impertinent, 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 rude and not showing proper respect, insolent, disrespectful, respectful, polite. 1235 indulgent, 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 having a tendency to be overly generous, lenient, permissive, strict, stern. 1236 ineffectual, 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 not producing any significant effect, useless, powerless, effective, successful. 1237 iniquitous, 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 grossly unfair and morally wrong, wicked, immoral, virtuous, just. 1238 irreproachable, 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 beyond criticism, blameless, faultless, reproachable, blameworthy. 1239 mawkish, 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 excessively sentimental, sappy, sentimental, unemotional, reserved. 1240 painstaking, 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 done with great care and thoroughness, careful, diligent, careless, hasty. 1241 redundant, 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 no longer needed or useful, unnecessary, superfluous, essential, necessary. 1242 retroactive, 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 applying to a period before enactment, backdated, retrospective, prospective. 1243 soluble, 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 able to be dissolved, dissolvable, miscible, insoluble. 1244 stodgy, 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 dull and uninspired, boring, stuffy, exciting, interesting. 1245, superfluous, 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 exceeding what is sufficient, excessive, redundant, necessary, needed. 1246, tawdry, 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 showy but cheap and of poor quality, gaudy, flashy, elegant, tasteful. 1247, titular, 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 holding a formal position or title without real power, nominal, ceremonial, actual, real. 1248, undulating, 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 moving in waves, wavy, rolling, flat, still. 1249, unoriginal, 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 lacking originality, derivative, stale, novel, innovative. 1250, unprecedented, 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 never done or known before, unmatched, unique, common, routine. Unit 26, 1251, aberration, 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 a departure from what is normal or expected, anomaly, deviation, normality, conformity. 1252, abyss, 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 a deep or seemingly bottomless chasm, chasm, void, peak, surface. 1253, ambiguity, 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 uncertainty or inexactness of meaning, vagueness, obscurity, clarity, precision. 1254, anarchy, 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 absence of government and order, lawlessness, chaos, order, government. 1255, arcade, 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 a covered passageway with shops or games, gallery, corridor. 1256, arrears, 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 money that is owed and should have been paid, debt, liability, credit, surplus. 1257, climb, 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 a region defined by its climate, region, zone. 1258, eloquence, 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 fluent or persuasive speaking, fluency, expressiveness, inarticulateness. 1259, expatriate, 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 a person living outside their native country, emigrant, exile, native, resident. 1260, imitation, 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 copy of something else, replica, mimicry, original. 1261, impudence, 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 rudeness or disrespect, insolence, impertinence, respect, politeness. 1262, influx, 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 an arrival or entry of many people or things, arrival, inflow, outflow, retreat. 1263, languor, 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 tiredness or inactivity, lethargy, fatigue, energy, vigor. 1264, larceny, 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 theft of personal property, theft, robbery, return, donation. 1265, mire, 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 a difficult or sticky situation, quagmire, swamp, escape, clarity. 1266, mural, 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 a painting on a wall or ceiling, wall painting, fresco. 1267, patina, 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 a surface appearance of something grown beautiful with age, finish, gloss, dullness. 1268, quintessence, 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 the most perfect example, epitome, embodiment, imperfection. 1269, rancor, 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 bitterness or resentfulness, resentment, animosity, friendliness, goodwill. 1270, reprisal, 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 an act of retaliation, retaliation, revenge, forgiveness, pardon. 1271, throes, 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 intense or violent pain and struggle, agony, spasm, comfort, ease. 1272, usury, usury, usury. The practice of lending money at high interest. Loan sharking, profiteering. Charity. 1273, vagabond, vagabond, vagabond. A person who wanders from place to place. Drifter, nomad, settler. 1274, corrode, corrode, corrode. To destroy gradually by chemical action. Erode, deteriorate. Preserve, strengthen. 1275, phase, phase, phase. To disturb or disconcert. Unnerve, dismay. Calm, reassure. 1276, fleece, fleece, fleece. To swindle or overcharge. Cheat, defraud. Repay, refund. 1277, highlight, highlight, highlight. To emphasize or make prominent. Emphasize, feature. Downplay, obscure. 1278, incriminate, incriminate, incriminate. To make someone appear guilty. Accuse, implicate. Exonerate, absolve. 1279, infiltrate, infiltrate, infiltrate. To secretly enter and gain influence. Penetrate, sneak in. Evade, withdraw. 1280, patronize, patronize, patronize. To treat with apparent kindness that betrays superiority. Condescend, sponsor. Respect, support as equal. 1281, rejuvenate, rejuvenate, rejuvenate. To make young or fresh again. Revive, renew. Age, weaken. 1282, scintillate, scintillate, scintillate. To sparkle or shine. Sparkle, glitter. Dull, dim. 1283, venerate, venerate, venerate. To regard with deep respect. Revere, respect. Disrespect, dishonor. 1284, ardent, ardent, ardent. Very enthusiastic or passionate. Fervent, passionate. Apathetic, indifferent. 1285, artless, artless, artless. Without deception or pretension. Naive, natural. Sly, pretentious. 1286, constructive, constructive, constructive. Helpful or serving to build up. Productive, useful. Destructive, harmful. 1287, fitful, fitful, fitful. Not regular or steady. Intermittent, erratic. Constant, steady. 1288, frenetic, frenetic, frenetic. Fast and energetic in a wild way. Frantic, hectic. Calm, peaceful. 1289, hypothetical, hypothetical, hypothetical. Based on hypothesis. Theoretical, speculative. Actual, real. 1290, inept, inept, inept. Having or showing no skill. Clumsy, incompetent. Capable, skilled. 1291, infinitesimal, infinitesimal, infinitesimal. Extremely small. Minute, tiny. Huge, enormous. 1292, provincial, provincial, provincial. Narrow-minded or unsophisticated. Rustic, unsophisticated. Cosmopolitan, broad-minded. 1293, regrettable, regrettable, regrettable. Causing sadness or disappointment. Unfortunate, sad. Fortunate, welcome. 1294, ruthless, ruthless, ruthless. Having no pity or compassion. Cruel, merciless. Compassionate, kind. 1295, sectarian, sectarian, sectarian. Narrow-minded or relating to a sect. Partisan, narrow-minded. Tolerant, open-minded. 1296, sheer, sheer, sheer. Complete and without restriction. Absolute, utter. Partial, limited. 1297, solvent, solvent, solvent. Having assets in excess of liabilities. Financially stable. Insolvent, bankrupt. 1298, surreptitious, surreptitious, surreptitious. kept secret because it would not be approved of. Secret, stealthy, open, overt. $12.99. Unobtrusive, 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 not attracting attention. Inconspicuous, discreet, obvious, noticeable. 1300. Waggish, 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 playful and humorous, mischievous, witty, serious, solemn. Unit 27. 1301. Barb, 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 a cutting remark, insult, taunt, compliment, praise. 1302. Camaraderie, 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 mutual trust among friends, friendship, companionship, hostility, animosity. 1303. Eddy, 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 a circular movement of water, swirl, whirlpool, stream, flow. 1304. Ideology, 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 a system of ideas and ideals, belief system, doctrine. 1305. Iota, 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 a very small amount, bit, speck, lot, quantity. 1306. Momentum, 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 force gained by movement, impetus, drive, stasis, inertia. 1307. Parody, 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 an imitation for comic effect, satire, spoof, original, imitation, failure. 1308. Rejoinder, 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 a response, especially a sharp one, reply, retort, question, request. 1309. Spatula, 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 a flat implement for spreading, turner, flipper. 1310. Tenacity, 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 the quality of being determined, persistence, perseverance, indecision, weakness. 1311. Vertigo, 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 a sensation of whirling leading to dizziness, dizziness, giddiness, steadiness, balance. 1312. Abjure, 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 to renounce a belief, renounce, forswear, embrace, accept. 1313. Balk, 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 to hesitate or refuse to proceed, hesitate, recoil, proceed, comply. 1314. Browse, 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 to look through casually, scan, glance, study, scrutinize. 1315. Collate, 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 to gather and arrange, assemble, arrange, scatter, separate. 1316. Commemorate, 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 to honor by remembering, celebrate, honor, ignore, forget. 1317. Delete, 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 to remove or obliterate, erase, remove, insert, add. 1318. Demarcate, 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 to set boundaries, delineate, separate, merge, join. 1319. Enervate, 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 to weaken or drain energy, weaken, exhaust, energize, invigorate. 1320. Entreat, 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 to beg earnestly, plead, implore, demand, command. 1321. Flag, 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 to tire or weaken, weaken, fade, strengthen, energize. 1322. Great, 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 to irritate or scrape, irritate, scratch, soothe, smooth. 1323. Implore, 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 beg someone earnestly, plead, beseech, refuse, demand. 1324. Inspect, 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 to examine carefully, examine, scrutinize, ignore, overlook. 1325. Intimidate, 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 to frighten or overawe, bully, threaten, encourage, reassure. 1326. Invalidate, 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 to make invalid, annul, negate, validate, confirm. 1327 lol. 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 To sit or stand in a lazy manner. Lounge, recline, sit upright, stand. 1328 rail. 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 To criticize severely. Scold, berate. Praise, commend. 1329 rally. 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 To gather for a common purpose. Assemble, muster. Scatter, disperse. 1330 stem. 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 To stop or restrict. Halt, curb. Allow, continue. 1331 surpass. 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 To exceed or go beyond. Outdo, exceed. Fall behind, fail. 1332 canine. 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 Relating to dogs. Dog-like. Feline. 1333 compensatory. 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 Intended to make up for loss. Remedial, recompensing. Punitive. Penal. 1334 derogatory. 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 Showing a critical attitude. Disparaging. Offensive. Praising, complimentary. 1335 dispassionate. 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 Not influenced by strong emotion. Objective, impartial. Biased, partisan. 1336 exhaustive. 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 Comprehensive and complete. Thorough, detailed. Partial, incomplete. 1337 ingrained. 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 Firmly fixed. Deep-rooted. Deep-seated, entrenched. Superficial, temporary. 1338 irksome. 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 Annoying, irritating. Irritating, tedious. Pleasant, delightful. 1339 lofty. 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 Of imposing height. Exalted. Elevated, noble. Low, humble. 1340 oblivious. 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 Not aware of. Unaware, ignorant. Aware, conscious. 1341 panoramic. 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 Unobstructed view in all directions. Wide-ranging, sweeping. Narrow, limited. 1342 predatory. 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 Seeking to exploit others. Rapacious, exploitative. Non-predatory, protective. 1343 recurrent. 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 Occurring again periodically. Repeated, periodic. Infrequent, rare. 1344 requisite. 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 Necessary for a particular purpose. Required, essential. Optional, unnecessary. 1345 restive. 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 Unable to keep still. Uneasy, agitated. Calm, relaxed. 1346 rife. 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 Widespread or abundant. Prevalent, ubiquitous. Scarce, rare. 1347 slovenly. 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 Untidy or carelessly done. Messy, sloppy. Tidy, neat. 1348 tensile. 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 Relating to tension. Stretchable, ductile. Rigid, inflexible. 1349 tenuous. 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 Very weak or slight. Flimsy, weak. Strong, substantial. 1350 transparent. 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 Easy to perceive or detect. Clear, obvious. Opaque, hidden. Unit 28. 1351 acerbity. 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 Sharpness and severity of manner. Bitterness. Harshness. Sweetness, mildness. 1352 adage. 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 A proverb or short statement expressing a general truth. Proverb, maxim. 1353 barterer. 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 One who trades goods without using money. Trader, exchanger. Buyer, seller. 1354 chassis. 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 the base frame of a vehicle. Frame, structure. 1355. Collusion, collusion, collusion. Secret cooperation for deceitful purposes. Conspiracy, complicity, honesty, transparency. 1356. Glossary, glossary, glossary. An alphabetical list of terms. Word list, lexicon. 1357. Incrustation, incrustation, incrustation. A hard crust or surface layer. Coating, encrustment. Smoothness, polish. 1358. Jaunt, jaunt, jaunt. A short excursion for pleasure. Trip, outing. Stay, residence. 1359. Jollity, jollity, jollity. Lively and cheerful activity. Merriment, gaiety. Sadness, gloom. 1360. Mentor, mentor, mentor. An experienced advisor. Advisor, guide. Pupil, mentee. 1361. Misnomer, misnomer, misnomer. A wrong or inaccurate name. Misnaming, wrong term. Accurate name. 1362. Notoriety, notoriety, notoriety. The state of being famous for something bad. Infamy, disrepute. Fame, renown. 1363. Novice, novice, novice. A beginner, beginner, newcomer. Expert, veteran. 1364. Pariah, pariah, pariah. An outcast, outcast, exile. Insider, favorite. 1365. Scaffold, scaffold, scaffold. A temporary structure for work at height. Platform, framework. 1366. Scorn, scorn, scorn. The feeling or belief that someone is worthless. Contempt, disdain. Respect, admiration. 1367. Sibling, sibling, sibling. A brother or sister. Brother, sister. 1368. Surveillance, surveillance, surveillance. Close observation, especially of a suspected person. Monitoring, observation. Ignorance, neglect. 1369. Tanner, tanner, tanner. One who tans hides. Leather worker. 1370. Yoke, yoke, yoke. A device for joining two animals together. Harness, bond. Liberation, freedom. 1371. Coin, coin, coin. To invent or devise a new word or phrase. Invent, create. Destroy, abolish. 1372. Debase, debase, debase. To reduce in quality or value. Degrade, demean. Enhance, uplift. 1373. Feign, feign, feign. To pretend to be affected by. Pretend, simulate. Be honest, reveal. 1374. Implement, implement, implement. To put into effect. Execute, apply. Neglect, ignore. 1375. Obliterate, obliterate, obliterate. To destroy completely. Erase, annihilate. Preserve, create. 1376. Preempt, preempt, preempt. To take action in order to prevent something. Forestall, anticipate. Allow, yield. 1377. Rebuff, rebuff, rebuff. To reject in an abrupt manner. Reject, snub. Accept, welcome. 1378. Renege, renege, renege. To go back on a promise or commitment. Renounce, retract. Honor, fulfill. 1379. Shackle, shackle, shackle. To restrain or impede. Restrain, bind. Free, release. 1380. Validate, validate, validate. To confirm or support. Verify, confirm. Invalidate, reject. 1381. Arduous, arduous, arduous. Requiring great effort. Difficult, laborious. Easy, effortless. 1382. Booming, booming, booming. Growing or expanding rapidly. Flourishing, thriving. Declining, failing. 1383. Cherubic, cherubic, cherubic. Having a childlike innocence. Innocent, angelic. Devilish, impish. 1384. Concentric, concentric, concentric. Having a common center. Circular, centered. Eccentric. 1385. Contingent, contingent, contingent. Possible but not certain. Conditional, dependent. Certain, definite. 1386. Equitable, equitable, equitable. Fair and impartial. Fair, just. Unfair, biased. 1387. Erudite, erudite, erudite. Having great knowledge. Learned, scholarly. Ignorant, uneducated. 1388. Genteel, 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 genteel. Polite, refined, or respectable. Refined, polite. Rude, uncouth. 1389. Illusory, illusory, illusory. Based on illusion. Not real. Deceptive, unreal. Real, factual. 1390. Imperial, imperial, imperial. Relating to an empire. Regal, majestic. Common, modest. 1391. Impermeable, impermeable, impermeable. Not allowing fluid to pass. Watertight, impenetrable. Permeable, porous. 1392. Incumbent, incumbent, incumbent. Necessary as a duty. Mandatory, obligatory. Optional, voluntary. 1393. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Clear or obvious. Evident, apparent. Hidden and obscure. 1394. Monastic, monastic, monastic. Relating to monks. Ascetic, cloistered. Worldly. 1395. Obsessive, obsessive, obsessive. Thinking about something continually. Compulsive, fixated. Indifferent, casual. 1396. Ostensible, ostensible, ostensible. Stated or appearing to be true. Apparent, supposed. Actual, real. 1397. Pandemic, pandemic, pandemic. Widespread disease. Epidemic, widespread. Localized. 1398. Reputable, reputable, reputable. Having a good reputation. Respectable, esteemed. Disreputable, shady. 1399. Submissive, submissive, submissive. Ready to conform to authority. Subservient, obedient, rebellious, defiant. 1400. Cordially, cordially, cordially. In a warm and friendly manner. Warmly, coldly, unfriendly.